Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Anthony Davis added to Lakers injury report versus Wizards. The Los Angeles Lakers are coming off a disappointing loss to the Los Angeles Clippers, but they've got a quick turnaround as they take on the Washington Wizards at home on Tuesday. The question for the Lakers is who is going to be available against the Wizards. Anthony Davis was added to the Lakers injury report on Monday as questionable due to right calf soreness. Anthony Davis had been on the Lakers injury report last week ahead of their game against the Brooklyn Nets as dealing with the plantar fasciitis issue he's had going back to the offseason. He ended up sitting out against the Nets before making his return against the Clippers. He was also on the injury report before the Clippers game as questionable with the right calf soreness. It's not clear if this is some new injury or just an aggravation of a previous one. In any case, it's something to monitor for the Lakers. In addition to Davis, LeBron James is also on the injury report, but as probable. James has been dealing with an ongoing foot injury, but aside from 2 games earlier this season, it has not kept him out of the lineup. Jared Vanderbilt, Christian Wood and Jalen Hood-Schifino remain out. There has not been any new update on either Wood or Hood-Schifino, while Vanderbilt is reportedly close to returning to the lineup. As the NBA trade deadline approaches, the Lakers have big decisions to ponder. One option would be to continue to try and upgrade the roster via trade as they did by bringing in Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton last month. The other option would be to hope they can field a healthy roster before the season ends, and see what a fully intact lineup looks like with Vanderbilt being able to play the switching 4/5 on defense. Following the Lakers' loss to the Clippers on Sunday, head coach J.J. Redick remarked that this team just doesn't have much room for error given their situation. It goes back to just not having a huge margin for error. I think our group is like, when one guy is gone from the rotation, there's an exponential effect to that, Redick said. I think when we're healthy, we're whole, we're playing connected and we execute, I think we're a great basketball team. We just don't have a huge margin for error, nor can we create that margin organically. We don't have a guy on our team that is necessarily going to draw 2 to the ball. We don't have a guy on our team that's going to be able to get past his guy one-on-one and get to the paint, Redick continued. It's just not our team. So we have to do it through connectivity, through execution, and when we do that, we're good. Pacers could land $48 million forward in multi-team trade with Lakers. The Indiana Pacers have put themselves in position for real success throughout the remainder of the NBA season. After a slow start, Indiana has started to play much better and they are rolling right now. Indiana has gone 8-2 over their past 10 games and is now in a position to make a splash ahead of the NBA trade deadline. While the Pacers don't want to disrupt the flow that they are in, the front office has to think about the future of the team. In this new trade idea, Indiana parts with longtime center Miles Turner. Losing Turner certainly hurts the Pacers, but this deal would help to set up the franchise past this season. After using the Spotrac trade machine and abiding by the new CBA restrictions, here is what the deal would look like. It would be a multi-team trade between the Pacers, Los Angeles Lakers, and Washington Wizards. Pacers receive Jonas Valanciunas, Jared Vanderbilt, and a top 5 protected 2029 first-round draft pick. Lakers receive Miles Turner. Wizards receive Gabe Vincent, a 2025 second-round draft picks. The biggest argument for trading Turner is that he is scheduled to be a free agent at the end of the season. While the Pacers do want to retain him, there is no guarantee that he will return to the team once he hits free agency. This deal would ensure that Indiana doesn't lose out on their star big man for nothing. Bringing in Valanciunas would give the Pacers another center to work with this season, and he is signed for 2 more years as well. Indiana would lose some defense and floor spacing with Turner gone, but they would land a highly coveted draft pick. The Lakers' 2029 first-round pick has been one of the better ones available in recent years, and Indiana lands it. Los Angeles has been after Turner for a few seasons now, and they willingly part ways with the pick to land him. Paired with Anthony Davis, Turner could help the Lakers compete for a title this season. The Lakers could then re-sign Turner in the offseason, part of why they would be willing to move the pick. But Indiana also gets a lethal defender in Vanderbilt in the deal. While he has been hurt this season, Vanderbilt is normally a strong rebounder and defender when healthy. This trade could help the Pacers long-term as they get some insurance if Turner leaves. The team also would get additional draft capital to use down the line. Los Angeles Lakers acquire Paul George from Philadelphia 76ers in proposed trade. The Philadelphia 76ers went out and got themselves the biggest name available in the offseason when they signed Paul George to a 4-year, $212 million contract. It was supposed to be the move that turned them into genuine championship contenders. Halfway through the season, they look like the farthest thing. The Sixers are 15-26. George has had his fair share of injury problems and featured in 27 games. Unfortunately for the 76ers, he is arguably having the worst season of his career right now. George is averaging 17.2 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 4.7 assists while shooting just 42.3% from the field. He has made more headlines for things he has said on his podcast rather than his performances on the court. That is never good news if you are hoping to compete for the championship. This is not the George that Philly fans would have been hoping for when the Sixers signed him, and many have given up already. So, it is time to part ways? On Newsweek, Matt Levine proposed a 3-team that would see the Los Angeles Lakers acquire George and a 2028 second-round draft pick, while the 76ers would get Zach LaVine, Jared Vanderbilt, and a top 10 protected 2029 first-round draft pick. The Chicago Bulls, the third team, would receive Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, Kenyon Martin Jr., Jalen Hood-Schifino, and a 2027 second-round draft pick. The Lakers would be giving up quite a bit to make such a trade happen, but it would be a roll of the dice for them as they seek to maximize LeBron James' remaining years on the court. As for the 76ers, it would be about getting George's contract off the books, but in doing so, they would be acquiring LaVine. The Bulls' superstar is playing at an all-star this season though, and would help a faltering Sixers offense. Finally, the Bulls seem to be aiming for a rebuild, and such a trade might give them the chance to do. This is probably the best return they can hope to get out of LaVine's exit right now, despite his impressive season so far. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Paul George? Leave your opinion in the comments.